What's up, YouTubers? It's J Dreamers coming at you with the video. I'm going to be talking about going back to some of my earlier videos, my very first ones when I was researching Saturn symbolism and reptilians, and I would like to sort of blend that into new revelations, and I would like to take these things and have them make sense along with the flat earth realm that we live in, because when Saturn was a planet millions of miles away, all of a sudden I had a conflict when I came into the flat earth paradigm, because now planets were not millions of miles away, and so I had to rethink this whole Saturn symbolism thing. And I haven't found many videos on YouTube that merge the two subjects together. I'm also going to be talking about quote-unquote lizard people, especially videos I've seen on the internet of them. And a special shout out to P38 Pizza, my local pizza place. I just went there today for the first time. It's right down the street. These people are awesome. They own their own small business, and the woman that works there, that owns the place, she's super nice. And thank you, Logan, for my sweet and spicy pizza tonight, man. And there's some cool open-minded people. I got to talk about the flat earth with a couple people there, so that was pretty fun. Okay, on to the subject at hand. This is a picture of the iconic Flux Capacitor from the movie Back to the Future. This guy up here is Doc. He's the one that created the Flux Capacitor, and this is his original drawing of the Flux Capacitor. As you can see, it's one line up and two lines down right there. Anyways, Doc says this is what makes time travel possible. So this symbol that they have decided, they could have picked any symbol. It could have been a circle, it could have been a square, but it's this symbol that the movie makers decided to be the center of this time vehicle. And he says this is what makes time travel possible. So this symbol, I was thinking, has something to do with time. What is it, and where have I seen this symbol before? Well, I started thinking about it, and I'll show you a few places where I've seen similar symbols. Obviously, we have iconic Michael Jordan symbol. Then there is the Mercedes-Benz symbol, right? Always associated with like elegance and rich stuff. And then I see this symbol every morning when I wake up, which is my Google clock. And I thought it was interesting because I was always taught that clocks were set at this particular time, 10 after 10, you know, to send a subliminal message for the people to be happy, because it makes this strange happy face, I suppose. But now with the second hand going straight down on a lot of these clocks, I'm not so sure that that's what it's for. And personally, I think that this symbol is used because our right brain, or our subconscious, works in symbolism and colors. That's the language of our subconscious. That's our right brain at work. And it's not usually at the forefront of our minds. So the Illuminati or the powers that be use symbolism in order to speak to our subconscious and, in essence, to program us however they'd like us to feel about things. Now, where have I seen this symbol before, and what does it have to do with time? Well, this is the black cube. You can type it in Google. The black cube symbolism is all around our planet. And interestingly enough, you've got this black cube from Star Trek right here, right next to the planet Saturn. Black cubes are synonymous with the god or the planet Saturn. And as you can see with these cubes, if you look at the lines from corner to corner, they actually make the same shape as this flux capacitor shape. Now, obviously, it depends on what angle you're looking at it, but I think that this may be what this symbol comes from, at least especially the flux capacitor symbol. And you can see it all over these cubes. Anyways, so the black cube represents Saturn. Now, what does the black cube have to do with Saturn? I'm going to tell you in a second. First of all, let me show you a picture of Saturn real quick. I'm going to show you a real picture of Saturn. This is Saturn through a telescope, not a painting of Saturn like this up here by NASA probably, but I mean these are real pictures through a microscope of what this bright light in the sky looks like. This is Saturn, and Saturn's the only one that I've ever seen that has a ring around it. And so Saturn is synonymous with Satan, right? Or evil, or darkness, or mystery, or what have you. It's also synonymous with time. And Saturn's the only planet that has this ring around it. Why does Saturn have a ring around it? Well, perhaps it is truly a ring of power. And maybe, I don't know, maybe in the past other planets have had this ring. Like maybe it's been passed on and okay, it's your turn to wear the ring, you know, Jupiter or Mercury or whatever it may be. But now it's Saturn's time to wear this ring. And it is a ring of power. And if Saturn is synonymous with Satan, aka like the devil, the bad guy, or as the Bible refers to him, the god of this age, and in some manuscripts, the god of this world, then it becomes very interesting. Saturn in ancient texts, well, in Greek, was known as Kronos. He was the god of time. And Kronos is where we get words like chronology, or chronicles, or what's another cron word? Well, cron's a word. Anyways, these words all have something to do with time. Chronological, you know what I mean? So Saturn is very much associated with time itself. And he's also associated with the physical world that we live in today. Now, obviously I showed you the flux capacitor has also very much something to do with time. This shape, this corner of the cube is my guess of what that is. And I would like to show you the most interesting cube that I found of all. This is Google's quantum computer called D-Wave. Interestingly enough, they decided to make it, lo and behold, a giant black cube. Now, what is this giant black cube? This is a supercomputer. This is one of the smartest, if not the smartest, fastest computer on that we know of. Why is that important? It's important because this, think about computers, just a computer, like back in the 50s or whenever, computers were made. They were huge. They were the size of whole rooms. Well, now, I don't have my phone, but now my smartphone is pretty much almost smarter, if not, my smartphone is the same as the giant computers of yesteryear. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, imagine how small this thing is going to turn into 40, 50 years from now. This could be our next smartphone technology, which I'm sure it won't be a phone. It'll probably be in your eyelids somewhere. But I'm going to try to remember to leave a link. But I saw these cool videos that took some old Star Trek episodes, and it was basically showing you that there was all these episodes where Captain Kirk, Dr. Spock, and Dr. McCoy, of course, all three of them go down to these garden-like paradise planets, right? And one in particular they went down into, and whatever happened to be on their mind manifested itself on the planet. They were thinking of something happy, and whatever they were thinking of popped up. And this was awesome for them at first. But then their thoughts started to turn negative and scary and dark. And negative and scary and dark things started to happen. People started to die. People were getting hurt. People were afraid. And it was all due to this supercomputer that was hidden under the planet. And it was ran by these godlike beings that used... Oh no. That used this supercomputer. I didn't like that song. In case you're wondering, I'm listening to the Donnie Darko soundtrack, which is pretty awesome. These godlike beings used these supercomputers to manipulate the energy of the mind or thought, which reminds me of the Egyptian god Thoth or thought, which is where we get the word thought from, or thinking, stuff like that. So these gods use these supercomputers to sort of like be a conduit for creating things, to actually manifest physically things that are formed in the mind. And it's done on a highly advanced level. You know, that would probably be too difficult for myself to explain. But these supercomputers were basically capable of creating like real holograms that became real. And they were often hidden from the view of the humans or Captain Kirk's crew. And it was hidden because these godlike beings wanted to sort of play with the human beings, or they wanted to test the human beings. They wanted to put them through various situations and analyze them and watch and see what their reactions were. And the whole reason, for the most part, usually was because these godlike beings were actually inferior to the humans or to Captain Kirk's crew, because Kirk and his crew had spirit. They had souls. And these godlike beings sort of were a super advanced form of artificial intelligence. Like intelligence that took off and advanced and advanced and advanced so far that they became godlike. However, they were missing a critical component, which is spirit. And so they were trying to understand spirit and what made these human beings, or these, beings on Captain Kirk's crew, so unique. All right, there's so much I want to talk about. Oh, yes. All right. So let's talk about reptilians, right? Especially shapeshifters on the internet. I've seen so many videos where people, you've got people on the internet that, like, my computer camera sucks, okay? If I move too fast, then it makes me look funny, right? I can look like a ghost, or, the pixels can do weird things. So here's a picture of me, right? And you could break it down and you could say, wow, look at his eyelid right there. Oh my God, that's a reptilian eyelid right there. And look at this hand. That is way too elongated. That's a flipper right there. He's transforming, and it's not holding him. Okay, yes, I think that there are beings that unfortunately we call reptilians. I think they have nothing to do with lizards. Okay? When you take a video of somebody and they lick their lips constantly, like I do, it's because my lips are dry, or it's a nervous reflex or what have you. I personally lick my lips because they're dry, and I like them to be wet. It's not because I'm a lizard or cold-blooded. I'm a human, I very much assure you. However, oh yeah, so if you have a video of someone going like flickering their tongue, that's a lot different than somebody licking their lips. But anyhow, let's get off my picture here. Oh, by the way, I don't wear this hat anymore because it's got this symbol on it, and it's basically a Saturn symbol. Just a long story short. So, the reptilians. If you've seen a few of my newer videos about the Flat Earth realm and the no forests, I speculate that, a lot of people have been saying that our world was silicon-based or silica-based. And I think that the people back then were also silica-based, and they were silica life forms. And I think that many of those went into hiding underground, where they survived, and they may have kept their silica form, for the most part at least. Maybe the more pure ones were even able to do things like shapeshift or change or manipulate their bodies in various ways that we don't understand today. I mean, are we monkeys? No. So are the reptilians lizards? Probably not. So I ran out of time. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day, everybody.